At the start of the 20th century, the automobile was a toy for the rich and famous. Most models were complicated machines that required a chauffeur to maintain its individual mechanical nuances and to drive it. Henry Ford was determined to build a simple, reliable, and affordable car. A car the average American worker could afford. Out of this determination came the Model T and the assembly line, two innovations that revolutionized American society and modeled the world we live in today. In 1908, the Model T was introduced and took 12 hours of assembly time, and each car cost $125. Henry wanted to sell the car to a wider market at a cheaper price. To achieve this, he came up with the idea of the moving assembly line. Rather than move the workers from station to station, Henry created the belt drive assembly line, which moved the whole car. This, in turn, sped the production for the original 12 hours to 6 or less, and dropped the price of each car to $575 and down. With the introduction of the moving assembly line, a boom for the U.S. economy was just around the corner.
With the assembly line in full swing, the Ford workers also benefited from the economic growth and increased manufacturing process. Henry Ford increased workers' pay to $5 a day and shortened the workday to around 8 hours, which allowed 3 work shifts over a 24-hour period. With the pay increase and relaxed hours, employees enjoyed a better home life and a better atmosphere at the job. It was also easier to bring on new employees with the new assembly line because each employee only needed to be trained on a specific area of assembly rather than the whole car. As the moving assembly line proliferated into a wider manufacturing, all consumer goods were affected. The price of refrigerators, cars, televisions, radios, and aircraft all dropped to become affordable to the average American. During World War II, the assembly line was instrumental in providing war goods on a scale like none other. Even Henry Ford's own Willow Run assembly plant was used to build B-24 Liberator bombers on an assembly line that was a mile long. Post-World War II, these very same assembly lines became the economic engine that provided the comfortable incomes to returning soldiers and continued the post-war economic boom.
Manufacturing have gone up, manufacturing went into a period of transition. Industries that were once purely American jobs have shifted to overseas markets, such as manufacturing costs rose. In the auto industries, what was once a market dominated with companies like GM, Ford, Chrysler, and AMC now share their market with overseas brands like Toyota, Nissan, Honda, Kia, and Hyundai. U.S. brands have gone through a period of non-growth and have even been on the verge of economic ruin, having failed to keep up with the changing markets and even having poor quality. Prior to the 2007 auto industry collapse, Americans were still enjoying an economic boom that would trace its roots to the first assembly lines in Henry Ford plants. In December of 2008, the last remaining big 3 auto manufacturers in the U.S. appeared before Congress to ask for a $34 billion bailout. The only company not to accept the bail funds was Ford. At the hearing, Ford Motor Company President Alan Mulally stated that even they never saw it coming. The only thing that saved Ford was it didn't make the same poor decisions as other manufacturers. Here's an industry that once had people coming from all over the country for jobs that paid $5 a day to one that was about to lay off or affect 13 million American workers. Today, Ford is a highly profitable, cutting-edge auto manufacturer that still uses the moving assembly line. Ford's manufacturing principles were adopted by countless other industries. Henry Ford went beyond his 1907 goal of making cars affordable for all. He changed the habits of the nation, and it shaped its very character. The Model T Ford set a standard for the efficient automobile, and the automated assembly line revolutionized efficient and speedy work output.